is, if it is void ab initio, why did the Supreme Court not apply the doctrine of operative fact? In my research, two reasons. One, hindi po bringing up ng House of Representatives ito. Bringing up po to ng House of Representatives later on in the MR. Number two, there is a rule that kapag ka magkakaroon ng injustice or may ma-oppress, hindi pwede yung operative fact. So since my finding, please correct me, Senator Marcoleta, if I'm wrong. Since my finding po ang Supreme Court na sinircumvent yung 1-year bar, hindi ka ngayon pwede mag-operative fact kasi para mo ni-reward ngayon yung circumvention. Am I correct sa
Yes, Mr.
pagkaintindi?
President, because the doctrine of operative fact is based on equity and fairness. Eh wala pong equity talaga eh. Hindi po sinunod ang mga tuntunin. So, sa umpisa pa lang, nagpalusot na, kaya hindi po pwedeng gamitin yung operative fact.
I see former Secretary Jeremiah Bellica in the crowd. Sa ease of doing business na si Majority Leader and si Senator Ping, I think were the sponsors, di ba, or the authors of the law. I don't know kung, ang alam ko, covered ang Congress dun eh. So kapag ka 10 days, at kasi ministerial yung sabi ng Supreme Court eh. Kapag ka nag-file ka ng impeachment, yung 10-day, 3-day, ministerial yon. So even if you do not consider it archived, if you apply the ease of doing business law that Secretary Jeremiah Bellica used to very much push in government, you would come to the same conclusion. My point is, Mr. President, we'll never come out with a perfect decision. People will disagree. That's why I agree with the statement of the IBP na ang kailangan sa Constitution ay hindi agreement, kung hindi adherence. The North and South of the United States did not agree on slavery. That's why they fought a civil war. Because they had to see who will adhere to this Constitution, who will treat this piece of paper as a living soul and a covenant of this country rather than just a piece of paper. And grabe po ang devastation sa United States. Buti po tayo nagdidebate lang. Buti po tayo yung dugo ng ating mga bayani ay minsan lang po inalay at ngayon nagdidebate na lang tayo sa desisyon na to. Pero kung hindi natin susundin ang Supreme Court decision and we will court a constitutional crisis, we will tear the Constitution apart because, Mr. President, this is going to second to the last question. May option ba tayo not to follow the Supreme Court?
Wala po, Mr. President.
So it's for academic discussion and for criticism, for enlightenment, and trying to influence the court na masama decision nyo. In accordance, I respect the opinions for those who think na masama yung decision. But in actuality, as an institution, we have to follow. Hindi po ba?
Tama. Ini-elect.
Hindi, kasi may decision ng Supreme Court kung paano hati-hatiin yung membership ng CA. Kung hindi rin natin susundin yung decision ng Supreme Court sa impeachment, wag na rin natin sundin sa CA. What about sa sweldo ng mga senador? Diba, sabi sa konstitusyon, sa mga batas, hindi tayo pwede magpasa ng batas na makikinabang tayo.
Tama po yun.
So kung disagree tayo, wag na rin natin sundin dahil mas mataas na sweldo yun.
Kailangan po kasi palagi nating isasaalang-alang kung anong sinasabi ng desisyon ng Korte Suprema at hindi yung sarili po nating nilalayon o sarili nating interes.
Correct po ba? Especially when we disagree. Madali kasi magsang-ayon pag we agree eh.
Tama po.
Maraming magsasabing nag-uusap tayo through microphone but we agree on many things. But mas mahirap when we disagree.
Tama
so,
po.
Mr. President, so since we disagree slightly on dismiss, would the movant, the distinguished senator, consider na ma-amend yung motion that the Senate obey or follow or anong tamang salita na acceptable sa minority the Supreme Court decision? Because if the motion is to obey the Supreme Court, so if the Supreme Court reconsiders, the motion still carries, then we will follow. If they don't, we will still follow. And right now, sabi naman nila, it is immediately executory. So as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exist. But I agree with the gentleman, there's some action that is wanting eh. Kung
Tama
hindi, it's there floating in the air. Anyway, I'll leave that as a question. There might be some people who want to interpolate, Mr. President, but may I offer that solution? We are allowed to amend, to propose an amendment to any motion if the movant agrees.
I am amenable to an amendment, Mr. President, like moving it to send it to the archives. Like we will have the same result if that is the case. And I will be pleasing Senator Soto if I do that.
What is the pleasure of the Honorable Soto, the distinguished Minority Floor Leader?
Thank you, Mr. President. It grieves my heart to disagree. I think I'd rather call for the previous question, a motion to table. It has the same effect, and you can bring it up anytime, but we did not say that we did not follow the Supreme Court decision. It will not say that we archived as the interpretation of the Supreme Court is kung ano yung word ng archive. Iba yung archive nila eh. Hindi pa nga adjourn, archive na sa kanila eh. Hindi ba? Hindi pa tapos yung session eh. Hindi naman ganun ang archive sa atin. Sa kanila ganun. Iba yung rules ng Congress eh. Iba yung kaysa sa rules nila eh. So, hopefully, baka pwedeng we can find a middle ground between the proposal of Senator Alan Cayetano and my motion to table, which has a higher precedence than the motion to dismiss.
But Mr. President, that is not consistent with the immediate character of the decision. The decision says it is immediately executory. A motion to table, hindi po immediate yun eh. Tsaka sabi nga ni Senator Cayetano, somehow there should be some action. The people are waiting for some kind of a closure before this chamber. Because that particular decision is directed to no one but to the Senate.
The parliamentary status is that a motion was made by the Honorable Marcoleta, which he is willing to amend, and a higher order of precedence motion was made by the Honorable Minority Floor Leader. Both are pending, and to afford time for both the Minority Leader and the original movant to perhaps consider and find a compromise as agreed upon earlier, can we proceed with the interpolations and interjections, manifestations, if you will,
Yes,
of the other members who had manifested to so interject and make known their position through a manifestation or interpolation?
Yes, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Therefore, I withdraw the call for the previous question, and then allow that to proceed. But then again, just a point of information for for our colleagues. The Supreme Court has just received a motion for a TRO for the Senate not to take up this particular case. It was filed yesterday by the former Associate Senior Justice Tony Carpio, also Ombudsman Conchita Carpo Morales, Commissioner Heidi Mendoza, religious leaders, former military and public servants, Michelle Magno, students and the youth and the academy. They have filed a TRO with the Supreme Court, and we are awaiting something to that effect. It might come out today, and then we are, again, inuunahan natin. So hopefully, yes, we can proceed, Mr. President.
Thank you, Minority Floor Leader. Your manifestation is duly noted. Senator Cayetano,
Sir President, let me agree
wind
with...
up.
let me just agree with both you and the Minority Leader. And of course, thank Senator Marcoleta for his openness. Ang intention ko lang naman po in proposing an amendment, wala pa yung actual words, no? But, Mr. President, kasi kung pwede, pag bumoto tayo, dahil mabigat po yung pagbobotohan natin at sa legal opinion natin sa boto natin. So kung mali ang framing kung ano pagbobotohan, mahirapan din tayo lahat. So meaning I don't mind if I vote for or against the proposition, at least malinaw kung anong pagbobotohan ko. So like, I would vote to follow the Supreme Court decision. I'm thinking whether I'll vote to dismiss because the Supreme Court said it did not exist, void ab initio. But I don't want to vote against it because if I vote against it, it is live. And precisely the Supreme Court said immediately executory. No? So let me yield the floor para dun makapagtanong yung iba. But I'm hoping some of us can come up with language that will be acceptable. We might not have a unanimous vote, but at least klaro kung anong pinagbobotohan natin. Thank you very much, Senator Marcoleta.
Mr. President, just a point of information.
Senator Pia Cayetano is recognized for her point of information.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I'm happy to be corrected. We have on the floor, I don't know, majority floor leader. The minority floor leader was Senator Soto, was a majority floor leader. Senator Kiko was a majority floor leader. Senator Subiri, former Senate President, was also a majority floor leader. I hope I didn't forget anyone. Lauren was a majority floor leader. So on that note, I just want, so again, I'm happy to be corrected, but the rules, to my knowledge, do not limit us to a particular kind of motion. Rule 31, the title is Precedence of Motion, so it lists the motions that take precedence. Rule 32 is the privilege motion. It doesn't mean that we cannot have a different motion. So just put that on the table so that those who want to be creative can continue this discussion later on when we get to that point that we are deciding if we will rephrase, if we choose to look for a more appropriate wording. But I'd like to include this in everyone's for everyone's consideration that there doesn't seem to be a limitation on what kind of motion we can present to the body. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Cayetano. Mr. President, at this juncture, may I move that we recognize the distinguished gentleman from Davao, Senator Bato de la Rosa.
Senator De La Rosa is recognized. What is your pleasure, sir?
Thank you, Mr. President. I just would like to make a clarification, Mr. President, that it is very clear to me during our caucus, we have agreed that today, on this date, we are going to tackle this Supreme Court ruling, and we have to debate on this, and we have to decide on this today. It was not part of the agreement that whenever the House of Representatives file a motion for reconsideration, ay ma-install yung ating plano today. So, bakit nagbago yung usapan, Mr. President? I'm just asking.
Your Honor, the Senate is a collegial body and decides everything by dividing the House. The current parliamentary status is that we have two motions that have not yet been acted upon. One has precedence over the other. Pinahintulutan ng dalawang movement na magpatuloy muna yung pagdedebate. So darating po tayo sa punto, matapos ang debate, na pagbobotohan natin yung dalawang motion po na yan. Ayon sa precedence ng rules natin. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. President,
Very quickly,
Is this already your...
just an interjection on the point raised by Senator De La Rosa.
Mr.
Majority
President,
Leader.
if I may appeal, Mr. President, to distinguished gentleman from Pampanga, Mr. President, because next to interpolate is the distinguished lady from Iloilo, Mr. President,
quick
Senator Risa, and
manifestation.
then it's his turn, Mr. President.
Just a quick manifestation,
The
Mr. President.
gentleman may proceed for his
Because
quick manifestation.
Because it has been referred repeatedly about what we agreed on in the caucus. Mr. President, we agreed to decide on this matter. And if the decision is to lay it on the table, that is a decision of the Senate in plenary. In other words, we didn't agree on deciding, holding it in abeyance. We said we will decide.
Your Honor, that's precisely what the chair said. We will be deciding on these pending motions at the proper time after debate. Senator Ontiveros
Yes,
is recognized for her interpolation and interjection if Senator Marcoleta so desires.
Yes, Mr. President.
Salamat po, Mr. President. In lieu of an interpellation of the good gentleman from Tarlac, I will be seconding a motion, Mr. President, preceded by a brief manifestation. Earlier, Mr. President, Senator Marcoleta said he refuses to speculate on reversal. But the good gentleman's own position is based on his own speculation that the SC will not reverse its decision. A tabling of the motion to dismiss, which is what I will second in a few minutes, Mr. President, a tabling of the motion to dismiss by the Senate today is not defiance of the Supreme Court. Wala pa nga po kasing final na decision. Kahit ang Korte Suprema po, iniintay pa ang comment ng VP. That is why I will be seconding the motion of the Minority Leader to table the motion to dismiss the impeachment complaint until the decision of the Supreme Court has attained finality. Tama po, we should exercise extraordinary prudence in this matter of transcendental importance. Still, I also wish to take this opportunity to express my thoughts at this crucial moment for our chamber. Mr. President, I agree and I continue to respect the Supreme Court. Hindi po magbabago iyan. But, Mr. President, hindi naman po ibig sabihin ng respeto ay pananahimik. Lalo na kapag inisip natin kung gaano kalaki ang nakataya dito. Magkaiba rin yung rumerespeto at yung bulag. Kaya naman, I will not be choosing silence, nor will I be turning a blind eye in the face of clear and unmistakable injustice. I am encouraged by the words of brave professors of the UP College of Law who in 2010 issued a sharp critique of a Supreme Court decision, Vinuya versus Executive Secretary, which said, the court cannot regain its credibility and maintain its moral authority without ensuring that its own conduct, whether collectively or through its members, is beyond reproach. So, in the context of the SC decision, Duterte versus House of Representatives, I believe we need to shed light on some concerns which former justices and constitutional framers themselves, some of whom are here this afternoon, Mr. President, have underscored. Una, the Supreme Court decision was based on critical factual errors. At binanggit na rin po ito ni Minority Leader. And this has since been pointed out by no less than retired Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio. For example, the decision said that the February 5 impeachment complaint was transmitted to the Senate without a plenary vote in the House. A simple check of the record, specifically House Journal number 36, shows that this is false. Walang haka-haka. Those official records are plain for anyone to see. Sabi tuloy ni retired Chief Justice Renato Espuno, na siyang chairman ng Philippine Constitution Association, the Supreme Court was faced with a famine of facts necessary to make a decision invulnerable to constitutional assaults. Pangalawa, actions already taken under a prior and valid interpretation should be recognized as legally effective. Yan naman ay mula kay retired Justice Adolf Ascuna. The House of Representatives was operating under the regime of the legal doctrines in Francisco and Gutierrez, which held that the initiation of impeachment proceedings begins from referral. Kung unconstitutional pala na sundin ang legal doctrines, in the words of Justice Ascuna, that is legally unfair. Paano nga naman unconstitutional kung sinunod lang nila ang patakaran ng mismong Korte Suprema? Dagdag pa po sa isang desisyon nitong 2020 lamang, Madreo versus Byron. Sabi ng Korte na kung may pagbabago sa doktrina at interpretasyon ng batas, dapat prospective ang aplikasyon nito. At ang pangatlo at huling punto, mistulang nadagdagan ang requirements sa proseso ng impeachment na hindi naman nakasaad sa ating saligang batas. These new limitations, Mr. President, are not found in our fundamental law. Wala yan sa konstitusyon at kontra yan sa accountability. One disturbing example, sabi ng desisyon, Kailangan daw na isumite na ang bawat ebidensya laban sa opisyales sa pag-file pa lang ng complaint sa House. Dapat ba naka-attach na ang bawat bank slip, public record o testimonya ng witness na ihaharap kahit wala pa silang proteksyon ng Senate Impeachment Court? Ang tanong tuloy ng marami, realistic ba yan? Paano kung ang impeachment ay laban sa mataas na opisyal na kayang-kayang magtago ng ebidensya o manakot ng mga potential witness? Bakit humaba yata ang checklist ng proteksyon para lang sa impeachable officials? Samantalang ang taong bayan na nagtatanong, na naniningil ng pananagutan, sila pa ang pinahirapan. Sila pa ang nadagdagan ang requirements. Ayon sa Korte Suprema, an official facing impeachment does not stand to lose fundamental constitutional rights such as life, liberty, or property. Hindi buhay, kalayaan, o pag-aari ang inihahabla sa impeachment. Kung ang usapan naman ay due process, hindi ba't ang mismong impeachment trial na nga ang mismong venue para doon? Maririnig ang dalawang panig. May ebidensya, may magdedepensa. That is due process. So what are we afraid of? At dahil nandito rin po sa gallery ngayon, Mr. President, ang isa sa mga constitutional commissioners na si Christian Monsod, di lalo po akong confident na mag-take exception sa isang sinabi kanina ng good gentleman mula sa Taguig at Pateros na dapat mahirap ang proseso ng impeachment. Kontra po doon ang pananaw ng Constitutional Commission kung mababasa po natin ang records ng deliberations ng komisyon, partikular sa panig ni Commissioner Regalado. Muli, patuloy nating nirerespeto ang Korte Suprema. Pero pwede mong respetuhin ang isang institusyon habang nasa Court of Appeals. The court conceded that it is not infallible. Should any error of judgment be perceived, sabi nila, it does not more than anything else is of paramount importance. In the 2010 letter that I mentioned earlier, the UP law professors said that the position of the Supreme Court as the final arbiter of all controversies requires competence and integrity completely above any and all reproach. A breach of these values, the professor said, does violence to the primordial function of the Supreme Court as the ultimate dispenser of justice. And the UP law dean who led that letter to the Supreme Court, walang iba po kundi ang nagsulat ng desisyon na ating pinag-uusapan. Dear Mr. President, dear colleagues, I believe this decision is of the highest public interest, whose consequences will echo through time and history. Maraming taon mula ngayon, pag-aaralan at hihimayin ito ng lahat. Mula sa mga estudyante, mga journalist, mga political analyst, mga academics, at higit sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan. One day, and this day will come, history will judge all of us based on our actions today, August 6, 2025. When history comes to remember, let's hope we stood where it mattered, that even in the face of doubt, we did what was right and just, with deep respect for the Supreme Court and all institutions of our country, Mr. President. I therefore second the motion to table the motion to dismiss the impeachment complaint until the decision of the Supreme Court has attained finality. Salamat po, Mr. President.